Hello students, good morning everyone. Welcome to AstraDex. Today we are going to learn about the root system topic 11th standard. So root is the descending part of the plant, descending axis of a plant that grows downward. Root arises from radical part of the embryo. This is a seed. This is a seed. This is the radical part of embryo. This is radical part of embryo. From this radical root develop. Which is the first structure that comes out when the seed is placed in the soil. Some characteristic features of root. Root lack chlorophyll. Root is brown in color that do not perform photosynthesis. It exhibit positive geotropism. Geotropism means growth towards gravity. Growth towards gravity. So it exhibit positive geotropism. And main function of root is fixation and absorption. Fixation means anchorage. And the plant firmly attached to the soil through the root. And then it lack chlorophyll. Some features of root. It lack chlorophyll that do not perform photosynthesis. Root form the descending part of the plant axis. Growing downwards. Roots have no nodes, internodes and buds. But some plants use root for vegetative propagation. Some plants use root for vegetative propagation, multiply. Example, sweet potato. And then root tip is covered by root cap. That protect the root as the root pushes through soil. Types of root system. There are mainly two types of root system: tap root system and fibrous root system. And then another special root system is called adventitious root system. First, tap root system. This is soil, surface of the soil. Embryo seed is placed in the soil. From the embryo, radical part of the embryo develop into root. So this is radical. First formed root from the radical is called primary root. In this taproot system, primary root is long lived, that means persistent, permanent. From the primary root, secondary roots arise. This is secondary roots. And then from the secondary roots, tertiary roots arise. This is tertiary roots. Primary root is long lived. From the primary root, secondary roots arise. And then from the secondary roots, tertiary roots arise. This form is called taproot system. Found in dicotyledons plant. Example, sunflower, Pisum sativum, that means pea plant, mango, neem, etc. Main function of taproot is it provides excellent anchorage. Anchorage means fixation and efficient nutrient absorption. This is taproot system. And then fibrous root system. In the fibrous root system, primary root is short-lived. First formed root from the radical is already primary root. This primary root is short-lived. And then it is replaced by cluster of thin thread-like root-like structures arise from the base of the stem. So this is radical. This is primary root. Primary root is short-lived and then it is replaced by uniform sized cluster of roots. Uniform sized cluster of roots arise from the base of the stem. Base of the stem, cluster of roots arise. This cluster of roots called fibrous root. Fibrous root. Almost all branches are equal in size. It also it is providing soil providing efficient for nutrient absorption and also used for preventing soil erosion. Preventing soil erosion, absorbing surface water efficiently. This is the fibrous root system. This fibrous root system occur in monocotyledon plant. That means monocot plant like wheat, rice, maize, grasses, etc. This is fibrous root system. And then adventitious root system. Adventitious roots. In adventitious root system, roots arise from any part of the plant other than radicle. So, root arise from any part of the plant other than the radicle, mainly from stem nodes, leaves or older stem region. They provide additional support. This type of root provide additional support and may serve specialized functions like climbing or storage. Okay. Examples: banyan, money plant, black pepper and mangrove plants. This is adventitious root system. So first taproot system and then fibrous root system and then adventitious root system. First in taproot system, primary root is long-lived. Second in fibrous root system, primary root is short-lived. And then adventitious root system, roots formed any other part of the plant, any part of the plant other than radicle. Okay. Then you will learn regions of root. Regions of root. This is this diagram show regions of root. First, this shows the regions of root. This is root tip. This tip is called root tip. First, root tip is covered by a cap-like structure. Root tip is covered by a cap-like structure. This cap is called root cap. Root cap protect the root tip. And then this region is called zone of cell division. Zone of cell division. Here meristematic tissue occur. This meristematic tissue undergo mitotic cell division. So continue to cell divide. Above this region, that means above the cell division region called zone of elongation. Zone of elongation. Cells from this zone of meristematic tissue undergo zone of elongation. In this elongation place, root undergo increase in growth. And then above the zone of elongation, region of cell maturation. So cell undergo maturation. Cells differentiate into maturation. In this region, root hairs are present. This is root hairs. Root hairs are present. Root hairs are found in the maturation region of root. These root hairs absorbs water and mineral salts from the soil. So this is the region of root. First one, root cap. A cap-like structures covering at the root tip. It protects the root tip. That means in the root tip meristematic tissue are present. So soft meristematic tissue are protected by root cap. And then meristematic zone possess cells undergo continuous division above the root cap. So this is root cap. Above the root cap, meristematic zone is present. Here cells are small, thin walled and densely packed with cytoplasm and large nuclei. So meristematic cells are thin cells densely packed with cytoplasm and possess large nucleus. Already you know. Then zone of elongation. Zone of elongation are present above the meristematic region. So cells produced in the meristematic region undergo elongation. So root increasing in length. Maximum growth of length takes place in this elongation region, students. Finally, we show the zone of maturation. So cells differentiated into specialized tissues called zone of maturation. In this region, root hairs are developed. Tiny, very small outgrowth and increased surface area for absorption of water and minerals. So 4 regions are found in the root, from the base, root cap and region of meristematic and region of elongation and region of maturation. In the maturation region, root hairs are developed. These root hairs are used for absorption of water and mineral salts. Then you learn some functions of root. First function is main function, that means primary function. Primary function is fixation, that means anchorage. Plant firmly attached to the soil through the root. This is anchorage or fixation. Second one is absorption. Absorption means absorption of water and nutrients from the soil or takes place through root. Finally, conduction, transport absorbing materials to stem region. So absorption, anchorage and conduction are the primary function of root. So main primary function of root is absorption, anchorage or fixation and conduction. And then you learn some secondary functions of root. In addition to fixation, absorption and conduction, root perform some special function. For this special function, root undergo some modification. First one, storage. Modified root store some food reserves. Example, carrot, radish, sweet potato. And second one is vegetative propagation. Some roots develop buds for asexual reproduction. This is vegetative propagation. And mechanical support. Prop and stilt root. Prop root and stilt root provide additional support. Example, study later. Example, banyan and maize. Respiration. Nematophores are present in mangrove plants. This help in gaseous exchange. So that means respiration. Last, nitrogen fixation. Root nodules in legume plant means pea plant, Pisum sativum plant. Root nodules house nitrogen fixing bacteria. And then root modification. You learn root modification. First one is taproot modification and secondly adventitious root modification. First, conical root. In conical root, broad at the top and gradually tapers towards the end. Example, carrot. Docus carota, botanical name is. So here This is cone-like appearance. So broad at the top, gradually tapering downwards in a cone shape. Second one is fusiform root. Swollen in the middle, and both ends are tapers. Swollen in the middle and both ends are tapers, look like spindle shape. Example, radish. Radish botanical name Raphanus sativus. Swollen in the middle, swollen in the middle and tapering at both ends, spindle shape. Third one is napiform root. Napiform root are spherical or top shape, and suddenly tapering at the end. So spherical or top shape with broad upper region. This is broad upper region, look like top, suddenly tapering lower end. Example, beetroot, turnip. First one is conical root, example carrot. Second one is fusiform root, example radish. Third one is napiform root, example beetroot. These three are modification of taproot system. Okay. Then tuberous roots. Tuberous roots mean adventitious roots. Already you know, students, what is adventitious roots? Root developed from any part other than the radical. So adventitious root becomes swollen and fleshy for food storage. Example, sweet potato, asparagus. This is tuberous root. And then prop root. Prop root give additional support to the plant. This is a tree. This is tree. This is the branches. So pillar like root grow downward into the soil and give additional support to the plant This is prop root. Pillar like adventitious roots. This is pillar like from horizontal branches. So this is tree. Horizontal branches. From the horizontal branches, root-like structures develop and grows into the soil and provide additional support. That means mechanical support to the plant. Example, banyan and ficus. Okay. Then modified for gaseous exchange. This is nematopores. Breathing roots that grow typically upward in marshy areas. Breathing root grows upward. Breathing root or respiratory root growing upwards. Main point, growing upwards. This is nematopores. These nematopores used for gaseous exchange, that means respiration. Okay students, this is modification of taproot and adventitious roots. Last one, gaseous exchange. For gaseous exchange, plants grow in marshy places, so some roots grows upward. This upward growth roots are called nematopores. These nematopores used for gaseous exchange. Okay students, class is finished. Meet in the next class. Thank you.